She wants you to make a move but won't say it. Hidden signals younger women give, psychology tricks. The quieter you become, the more you are able to hear. Rumi, let's be real, most men, especially the ones with good hearts, grew up believing that winning a woman's attention requires constant pursuit. Text first, call first, keep the conversation alive or risk losing her. But few men stop to ask, what happens when you don't chase? What happens when you slow down, when you go quiet, when you stop pouring energy into someone who may or may not truly value it? That's when a woman's real feelings surface, often in ways men never expect. Most guys interpret silence as a loss. They assume that if they step back, she'll forget them, move on, or replace them without hesitation. But that's not how female psychology works, not even close. The moment you go silent, her mind doesn't go blank, it goes active. She starts replaying your last conversations, analyzing every word, every tone, every shift. She wonders why you pulled back. She questions her place in your world. She becomes curious, even unsettled, by the change. And here's the part most men overlook. A woman's reaction to your absence reveals more truth than her reaction to your presence. While many believe constant communication creates attraction, the reality is different. Distance creates desire. Mystery increases value. Silence sparks curiosity. When you stop chasing, she doesn't just miss your messages, she begins feeling you in a different way. She may start initiating more, checking your social media, replying faster, or sending subtle signals to draw your attention back. Sometimes she does this knowingly, sometimes she doesn't even realize she's doing it. In this guide, we're going to break down the specific behaviors a woman shows when your silence shakes her, whether she's an ex, someone you casually dated, or a woman who once seemed interested but started pulling away. Because once you understand how emotional patterns work in women, uncertainty disappears. Attraction isn't created by pursuit, it's created by emotional contrast, confidence, and the ability to step back without fear. Master that, and you become the man who draws attention without saying a word, the man she thinks about, wonders about, and eventually moves toward. Sign number 1. She starts watching you closely. And not in the casual, oh hey, there he is kind of way, but with the quiet intensity of someone who suddenly realized the man she thought she understood, you, has shifted, pulled back, and disrupted her emotional autopilot. Don't be fooled by her calm exterior. Don't assume she's already moved on. That is the mistake most men make. Women possess an emotional radar sharper than you think, and when a man who once offered steady attention, your masculine energy, your presence, your consistency, suddenly goes silent, her subconscious lights up like a runway at midnight. She starts asking herself questions she never expected to ask. Why did he stop? What changed? What is he doing now? Why doesn't he care anymore? And even if she refuses to text first, even if she pretends to be unbothered, don't be deceived. She's watching. And she's watching everything. You must understand that observation is not passive for her, it's emotional reconnaissance. The first place she goes is your social media, where your name suddenly climbs to the top of her viewer list. She reads your captions carefully, interprets your quotes like they're coded messages, zooms into group photos to evaluate the women standing next to you, and even when she doesn't comment, like, or react, she's decoding every pixel of your silence. This is where emotional tension begins to build, and emotional tension is the birthplace of attraction, especially toward a high-value man who knows how to attract women without chasing them. And it doesn't stop online. If your lives intersect, shared circles, familiar places, predictable routines, you'll notice subtle changes. She glances more. She glances away even faster. She pretends not to notice you, yet somehow always knows where you are in the room. You catch her looking when she thinks you're not watching. She coincidentally appears at the cafe you go to, the gym you frequent, the event you mentioned months ago. Coincidence? Don't be naive. It's strategy wrapped in curiosity, and curiosity wrapped in emotional vulnerability. This is what happens when a man who once gave energy suddenly becomes a question she can't answer. Let's say you used to message her every morning, check in during the day, offer steady connection, the comforting rhythm so many men fall into without realizing they're draining their masculine energy instead of letting it amplify. Then one day, you stop. At first, she'll perform indifference. She'll post something like booked and busy because she wants to appear untouched, but after a few days, the silence becomes loud enough to echo. She sees your new photo with friends where you look centered, sharp, and self assured. She sees your gym picture, strength, focus, discipline, the essence of a high value man. She sees a quote about growth or purpose, and suddenly her mind isn't so calm. She starts thinking, has he moved on? Is he talking to someone else? Did I misread everything? These thoughts bother her more than she'll ever admit out loud. Eventually, she slips it into a conversation, never directly, because that would expose her interest. So she says something small like, "So, you've been busy lately?" Don't miss it. That is not casual. That is a temperature check, a subtle probe to see whether she's losing influence or whether you're simply becoming the kind of man who attracts women without trying. When a woman can't place herself in your world, when she doesn't know if she still matters, her thoughts accelerate into emotional overdrive. And when she thinks, she feels. That psychological chain reaction is why stepping back, not disappearing, just shifting your energy, is so powerful. It doesn't push her away. It draws her closer. You stop being the predictable guy who chases. You become the mystery she wants to solve. You become the man whose masculine energy disrupts her emotional certainty. And that is where everything changes. That is where attraction begins to rebuild itself without effort, and where your presence becomes magnetic simply because it's no longer guaranteed. We're only getting started, and the next part will show you the subtle ways she tests your silence, tries to reclaim her footing, and reveals her interest without ever saying it outright, and how you, as a grounded high-value man, should respond with poise, strength, and a calmness that naturally attracts women. Don't miss what's ahead. Every insight connects. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share if you're learning something powerful, because this is just the beginning. Sign number 2. She tests you with a random message. When you stop talking to a woman, she won't always react right away. In fact, she may lean all the way into her performance, posting photos, smiling boldly, living her best life, and acting as though your silence is nothing more than a gentle breeze passing by. Don't fall for the surface show. That is the first sleight of hand in female psychology. Because while she seems unbothered, something inside her begins to shift. Slowly at first, then persistently. Your absence creates a kind of emotional pressure, a tension that sits in her chest like a question she doesn't want to ask. And eventually, that pressure becomes too loud to ignore. But instead of sending a vulnerable confession or an honest question, she sends something simple, tiny, almost laughably casual. A random message. A digital pebble tossed into your emotional pond. It might be, "Hey, what's up?" It might be a meme that barely makes sense. It might be a question so out of place it feels like it escaped from a conversation you never had. "Do you still go to that restaurant you mentioned?" On the surface, harmless. Light. Playful. But don't misunderstand it. Don't downgrade it. This is not random. This is strategy wrapped in subtlety. This is one of the classic psychology tricks built right into female psychology. She's running a quiet, emotional diagnostic, testing your availability, checking if she still has access to your attention, seeing whether you're still tethered to her in the way you once were. Women hate uncertainty, and your silence has created exactly that. Uncertainty thick enough to make her wonder, rethink, and question everything she assumed she understood about you. So she reaches out. Not to confess, not to declare, but to gather information. She wants to know, is he still interested? Will he reply quickly? Can I still pull him back in? She wants to feel the old emotional power without having to expose herself. Men rarely see the test for what it is. Most fail instantly. They see that little text pop up, they feel a spark of hope, and they dive in headfirst. "Hey, been thinking about you." They respond fast, eager, glowing like a man who has been waiting by the phone. And the moment they do, they lose ground. That is the trap. She gets the answer she wanted. He's still there. I still have control. And the second she feels safe again, she pulls back. Not because she's cruel, but because emotional certainty eliminates curiosity. Curiosity is what sparks attraction. Certainty kills it. That's one of the oldest psychology tricks in the book, the very opposite of how to fall in love. The right move, the strong move, is the one few men ever choose. You must stay calm. You must not rush. If you respond at all, you keep it simple, controlled, and neutral. Something like, "What's up? All good. Been busy. Hope you're well." No emojis. No warmth. No emotional confetti. Just steady energy, masculine composure. When you do that, you flip the dynamic entirely. She expected eagerness. You gave her calm. She expected softness. You gave her boundaries. She expected you to melt, but instead, you're solid enough to make her wonder why she ever assumed you'd be predictable. And that confusion does something powerful. It triggers fear of loss. Let's put it into perspective. Imagine you used to message her every single day, from morning until night. Then one day you stop. Days pass, maybe even a full week. Finally, she sends, "Hey, stranger." Cued on the outside, calculated beneath the surface. It's her attempt to reconnect without revealing vulnerability. She's testing whether she still matters. Most men read that text like a love letter. They think it's desire, longing, maybe even the first step of how to fall in love again. But often, it's not romantic interest, it's control. It's her trying to confirm she can still influence your emotions with minimal effort. This is female psychology in motion, subtle and strategic. But if you don't bite, if you don't jump, if you don't flood her inbox with validation, something remarkable happens. She doesn't feel victorious. She feels uneasy. She begins to question. She starts wondering whether she miscalculated. She feels the first flicker of loss. She realizes your attention is no longer cheap, your presence is not guaranteed, and your energy has value. And that is when everything changes. You become rare, valuable, a man she can no longer take for granted. The psychology tricks she used now backfire, turning into something closer to the blueprint of how to fall in love, because love grows not from certainty, but from curiosity, effort, and emotional risk. So remember, that random message is never random. It's a window into her internal tug of war. And the way you respond determines whether you stay in control or fall right back into the same emotional loop she mastered long before you realized you were in one. She tests you because she wants to know if you'll fold, or if you'll stand like a man who can't be swayed by a single hey. Don't give your power away. Don't rush. Be the man who answers from strength, not excitement. And if you're ready to own that mindset, comment this right now. My attention is earned, not assumed. Like this video, subscribe for more hard truth and real masculine clarity, and remember, control isn't taken, it's maintained. Sign number 3. She posts to get your attention. And if you are a man between 35 and 70 dealing with younger women, you must understand this game with cold clarity. Social media is not just entertainment for her, it is the modern battlefield of attention, ego, and power. When you pull your energy back, when you stop calling, texting, or chasing, you create a gap. That gap creates curiosity. Curiosity creates tension. As Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. In this world, it also depends on the quality of your attention. She feels when your attention shifts, and instead of reaching out directly, she often goes tactical. Suddenly, her feed is not random anymore. Her selfies, her quotes, her stories, her out with friends posts, all of it becomes a performance. She is not just posting to her followers. She is posting to you. That is the key. That is the move. That is the hidden signal. A perfect selfie at the exact time she knows you usually scroll. A quote about silence, fate, or what's meant for you. A story from a rooftop bar, smiling, glowing, with just enough masculine presence in the background to make you wonder. Don't kid yourself. Don't romanticize it. This is not coincidence. This is strategy. Old Stoic wisdom tells you to look beneath appearances, not to be moved by every external show. Epictetus said, when something happens, the only thing in your power is your attitude toward it. Your attitude here must be firm. You must see the pattern and refuse to dance to it. Because every like you tap, every little comment you leave, every time you obsessively watch her stories, you pay her in your most valuable currency, attention. Attention is validation. Validation is emotional fuel. With one small action, you tell her, you still have me. That feels good to her. That keeps you in the weak position. Don't do it. Don't bite the digital bait. Don't reward the performance. This is where you bring in Stoicism win, where you stop playing the emotional boy and start acting as a grounded man with an iron mind. A man whose value does not rise and fall with a selfie. A man who does not chase shadows on a screen. In modern life, younger women are raised in a culture of notifications and instant responses. They know how the algorithm works. They know how male attention works. Many of them know, consciously or not, that one provocative post can pull 5, 10, 20 men back into their orbit. But you are not one of those men. You must not be one of those men. Your power is in what you do not do. You don't rush to like. You don't rush to reply. You don't analyze every lyric in her caption like a teenager. You watch your own behavior the way a general watches the battlefield. Calm, detached, strategic. That is Old Stoic wisdom applied to Instagram and TikTok. You create distance. You protect your focus. You keep living your life. You go to the gym. You improve your money. You deepen your mission. You sharpen your mind. As Seneca wrote, he who is everywhere is nowhere. When your attention is scattered across every picture she uploads, you're nowhere. When you pull it back and center it on your mission, you become solid. You become rare. And rarity always creates value. Here is the paradox. When her posts stop working on you, she starts to feel the loss. At first, she posts more angles, more quotes, more having the time of my life images. On the outside, she looks like she is winning. On the inside, a question starts growing. Why isn't he reacting? Did I lose him? Has he stopped caring? That quiet inner doubt is the beginning of the power shift. That is the moment when the chase starts to reverse. Younger women are used to men folding fast. You don't fold. You stay calm, steady, unshaken. That is Stoicism win in real time. That is an iron mind in action. You are not cruel. You are not playing games. You are simply refusing to be emotionally manipulated by pixels. Modern life will constantly test your frame. Every feed, every app, every notification is a temptation to react instead of lead. Don't let a curated highlight reel dictate your emotions. Don't let loneliness push you back into weak chasing. Let's be clear, when she really wants you, she will make a real move. She will reach out. She will call. She will invite. Your role is to create a life so strong, so full, so grounded that her digital performances cannot knock you off center. You must remember what the old Stoic wisdom masters were really teaching. Control yourself, and the world loses its grip on you. Control your reactions, and no post, no story, no thirst trap can run your day. Build that iron mind. Guard your attention like a king guards his throne. In doing this, you don't just win with women. You win with yourself. You become the man who is not chasing validation, but attracting respect. That is how you turn hidden signals into your advantage. That is how you reclaim the frame. That is how you master this part of life and walk away with your dignity, your power, and your peace intact. Sign number 4. She acts like she doesn't care. And that's exactly why you must pay attention. At this point, she suddenly appears unbothered, too calm, too collected, maybe even a little too radiant. She's not messaging you, not asking questions, not dropping hints, not showing a single visible sign that she misses your presence. If anything, she looks like she's thriving, posting more selfies, laughing louder than usual, glowing brighter than she did when you two were talking daily. And that's when your mind starts racing. Did she really move on that fast? Was I that forgettable? Don't fall for that trap. Don't assume the show means she's free. Most men don't realize that when a woman truly moves on, she doesn't advertise it. She doesn't need to prove her piece to the world. She simply lives, quietly and naturally, without theatrics. That is why when she suddenly becomes loud in her calmness, when she puts her "I'm totally fine" energy on display for an entire audience. It's not serenity, it's a performance. Women feel deeply, but they are masters of emotional control when they want to be, and a woman who feels pain but refuses to let you see it will put on the most convincing mask you've ever witnessed. She'll smile, pose, post, joke, glow, pretend, everything but reveal what's actually happening beneath the surface. And beneath that surface, she may feel confused, irritated, a little wounded, maybe even regretful. But you will never see it directly. Instead, she constructs the illusion of strength, carefully curating a version of herself that says, "I'm good without you," even if her heart is writing a completely different script. She avoids texting first. She avoids asking mutual friends about you. She avoids any move that makes her look vulnerable. Why? Because this entire act is a quiet test. She wants to see if you will crack first. She wants to see if you will break silence, panic about losing her, and rush back to ease her discomfort. She wants to see if you'll give her the reassurance she's too proud to ask for. The moment you reach out impulsively, she regains the upper hand. And most men, especially those who haven't yet stepped into their masculine energy or embraced their identity as a high-value man, cannot handle this kind of silence. They start spiraling, overthinking, drowning in questions like, did she ever care? Was I just a placeholder? Did I matter at all? That anxiety drives them straight into the mistake she's waiting for. They text first, they check in, they try to fix something that isn't broken but merely being tested. And the second they show they're still emotionally shaken, she wins. She knows she still has power. But be smarter. Don't fall for the performance. Don't let insecurity guide your moves. A woman who is truly done doesn't post quotes about peace, doesn't flaunt a fresh happiness, doesn't advertise independence. She simply disappears from your emotional world. No lingering, no cryptic captions, no attention-seeking glow. Real detachment is quiet. So when she suddenly tries so hard to convince the world, and you, that she doesn't care, that effort itself is the loudest confession that she does. Your best move is simple. Match her energy, but do it from a place of self-respect, not ego. Be still. Be grounded. Be focused on yourself, your progress, your goals, your purpose. Let your calmness speak with the kind of confidence only a high-value man can embody. Let silence become your superpower. That is how you naturally attract women, because restraint is the purest form of masculine energy, and it hits harder than any text you could send. The longer you remain composed, the more her thoughts start drifting back to you. She begins questioning her own performance. Why hasn't he texted? Did he move on? Was I not as valuable as I believed? Was he actually the high-value man in this connection? And slowly, the mask cracks. Because the truth is simple. If she truly didn't care, you wouldn't still live rent-free in her mind. And the more you hold your center, the more you let your masculine energy stabilize you rather than betray you, the more she feels the pressure, not because you're playing games, but because you're no longer playing hers. If you made it this far, you already understand what most men never learn. Her silence is not your signal to chase, it's your signal to rise. Don't crack. Don't fold. Don't hand over your power. Stand firm, stay grounded, and let your calm speak louder than her performance. If you're ready to hold your frame no matter what she shows you, comment this below. I choose strength over reaction. Sign number 5. She tries to make you jealous. When your silence starts shaking her confidence, when your calmness becomes a mirror she can't quite read, she reaches for another play. Jealousy. This is her next emotional tool, a classic move woven deep into female psychology and one of the oldest psychology tricks in the book. Not malicious, not evil, but incredibly revealing if you know how to read it. She wants to stir something inside you, to make you second-guess your choice to stay still, to test whether your quiet strength is real or just a temporary pose. So she drops hints, not bombs, just carefully placed clues. Casual mentions of another man. Light jokes about someone new. Sweet, innocent-sounding little stories designed to land softly but sting sharply. You'll hear things like, "There's this guy at work. He's so funny." Or, "I met someone at the gym. He reminds me of you." She says it like a passing thought, but don't mistake the tone for the intention. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's not confessing. She's provoking. She wants you to visualize it, to picture her laughing at another man's jokes, receiving someone else's attention, becoming desirable in a way that makes your silence feel like a mistake. Jealousy is designed to shake the ground beneath you, to force a reaction. And if you react even slightly, if you flinch, if your tone shifts, if your energy cracks, she wins. Because you've shown you're still emotionally reactive. And that is all she needs to feel in control again. But here's the truth most men overlook. Engrave this into your mind. If she were truly interested in another man, she wouldn't tell you. Women don't announce real feelings, they guard them. This is female psychology 101. When a woman talks openly about some new guy, it's rarely romantic, it's strategic. It's a test of your emotional grounding, not a sign she's actually drifting toward him. And if she sees her tactic works, if you start questioning, panicking, or trying to compete, you've handed her the frame. You've stepped out of strength and into scarcity. That is not how masculine presence works. That is not how to fall in love in a healthy, powerful way. Now imagine the visual test. She posts a photo with another guy, not intimate, but just close enough to raise your eyebrow. Maybe his hand is resting on her shoulder. Maybe the caption says, "New energy only." Your instincts push you to react. You want to ask who he is, make a sarcastic comment, or fire off a petty post of your own. Don't. You must not lose your center. You must not hand away your emotional control. You have two options: lose composure or choose the stronger route. Choose strength. Choose silence. No likes. No comments. No views. No validation. Because silence, once again, becomes louder than any jealous reaction could ever be. That kind of stillness is not manipulation, it is maturity. It is the refusal to participate in emotional tug-of-war. And when she sees that even this didn't shake you, the entire plan backfires. Suddenly, she's not wondering whether you care, she's wondering why you don't. That is where true power lies. Not in ego, but in emotional independence. Remember this metaphor. Jealousy is a mirror. She's holding it up, waiting to see emotion reflected back at her. But when she looks into it and finds only calm indifference, her grip slips. Emotional tactics only work on men who are emotionally dependent. When she realizes you've outgrown that, she has only two choices: rise to meet your level or walk away from the game entirely. Either outcome is clarity. These moments reveal something deeper about women, relationships, and the unspoken dance between attraction and insecurity. They show how subtle the signals can be, how intentional the moves are, and how much strength it takes to stay grounded. They are living examples of psychology tricks embedded in human behavior, reminders of how female psychology expresses interest, fear, longing, and confusion without ever saying the words directly. And if you learn to read these signs, not react to them, you unlock a version of yourself that changes everything about how to fall in love without losing yourself in the process. And now we move into the final stage, the one where she either returns on her terms or attempts to move forward without you, and the part where you must decide what kind of man you want to be when she does. Don't rush. Don't scroll away. Stay with me until the end. The next section will redefine your understanding of emotional power and personal control. Before you go, hit subscribe, like, and share this with someone who needs to hear it today. I'm Stephanie from The Manipulated Mind, and I'll see you in the next one. Sign number 6. She comes back, but only on her terms. And you must see it for exactly what it is. You've been calm. You've been silent. You've been steady. You didn't chase, you didn't beg, you didn't blow up her phone. Then, out of nowhere, she appears again with a little "hey," a reaction to your story, a flirty emoji, a random meme, or a wrong message she conveniently sent by mistake. That is not an accident. That is not romance. That is not fate bringing you back together. That is a test. In modern life, younger women are experts at these small digital hooks: DMs, streaks, likes, heart emojis. It feels soft and harmless, but behind it is one sharp question: can I still access him? She is not coming back the way she left. She is not apologizing. She is not taking responsibility. She is not offering closure. She is returning vague, safe, emotionally guarded, because this is not real reconnection. It is a temperature check. Old Stoic wisdom tells you you have power over your mind, not outside events. Marcus Aurelius said that, and you must live it. You cannot control her messages, but you can control your response. Don't confuse her curiosity with commitment. Don't confuse a "hey stranger" with "I've grown and I'm ready to show up differently." If she truly valued you, she would come back with effort, clarity, and intention. She would say something real. "I've been thinking about you. I know I messed up. Can we talk?" That is sincerity. That is ownership. That is a woman who respects your time. Instead, she keeps it light and playful because light and playful keeps all the power on her side. This is not love. This is control. And control is exactly what you must not surrender again. Many men, especially between 35 and 70, fall into the same trap. You see that notification, your heart jumps, and your mind writes a story. She misses me. She finally realizes what she lost. So you respond instantly. You drop every boundary. You ignore the silence, the patterns, the disrespect. You treat her return like a fresh start instead of a rerun of the same old show. You hand back all your power for free. Don't do that. Don't reward weak effort with strong attention. Don't let a quick emoji buy back the IP access to your life. Epictetus said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. That means you must be okay with her thinking you're cold, distant, or different now if that's what it takes to protect your peace. Stoicism win is not about being emotionless. It is about using your emotions wisely. Let's be clear. She is not necessarily coming back because she misses you as a man. She may be coming back because she misses the validation, the safety net, the ego boost she got from knowing you were there whenever she wanted. Younger women in today's world are surrounded by endless options and constant attention. When that attention quiets down, when the man with the iron mind steps back, she feels that loss of control. So she pings you. She pokes you. She tests the waters. Your job is not to pass her test. Your job is to test her. You must break the pattern. You must demand intention. If she sends a weak message, you don't jump. If she acts like nothing happened, you don't play along. If she reopens the door with a casual "hey," you make her knock with clarity and effort. That is old Stoic wisdom in action. You set the standard. You don't chase approval. In modern dating, attention is currency, and you are the bank. Stop handing out loans to people who already defaulted. A man who values himself does not give out second chances cheaply. He doesn't respond to half-hearted attempts with full-hearted investment. He doesn't confuse nostalgia with progress. He lets action prove what words cannot. "We teach people how to treat us" is a famous line, and it's brutally true. When you reward low effort, you teach her that your standards are low. When you let her pop in and out on her terms, you teach her that your time is flexible, your emotions are available, and your boundaries are negotiable. Don't teach that. Teach respect. Teach consistency. Teach that your life is not a revolving door. Let's make this practical. If she reaches out with something vague, you can ignore it, or you can respond in a way that requires effort. If you have something real to say it. Short, clear, strong. You must be willing to walk away if she cannot meet that standard. That is the iron mind. That is Stoicism win in the real world, not in theory. You are not a teenager anymore. You are a grown man with history, scars, responsibilities, and a limited amount of energy. At 35, 40, 60, 70, your time is your most valuable asset. Old Stoic wisdom tells you to invest it where there is honor, reciprocity, and growth, not where there is confusion, control, and emotional games. Don't reopen a door that leads to the same old pain. Don't let loneliness trick you into accepting disrespect. Don't let nostalgia blind you to reality. Let's flip the script. Instead of asking, "Does she still want me?" start asking, "Is this woman worthy of my peace, my time, and my future?" You must become the man who guards his emotional gates fiercely. You must become the man whose default posture is calm strength, not desperate reaction. With an iron mind, you see her return for what it is, not what you wish it was. With Stoicism win, you choose dignity over drama, standards over sparks, long-term peace over short-term ego hits. And if she doesn't come back with depth, vulnerability, and respect, understand this clearly. She is not coming back for you. She is coming back for control. That is a game you refuse to play. That is a door you do not reopen. That is how you win, not just in love, but in life. Sign number 7. She moves on or tries to. She wants you to think she does. Don't miss the subtle shift. After waiting for your reaction that never comes, your silence suddenly becomes the one thing she can't spin, dodge, or manipulate. That is when she stages her grand exit, not with truth, but with performance. She stops testing you, stops posting bait for attention, stops hovering over your profile, at least publicly, and then out of nowhere, there's a shiny new picture, a shiny new man, and a shiny new caption declaring she's finally at peace. But don't be fooled. A woman who truly moved on doesn't need a camera, a spotlight, or an audience. What she's doing is pretending, running from the emptiness your silence exposed, trying to outrun the regret that she may have let a high-value man slip through her fingers. So she fills the void with noise, new conversations, curated smiles, captions dripping with unbothered energy. But real peace doesn't perform, it simply exists. Be aware, women can rebound fast, but they process slowly. That new guy? She measures him against you. That new joy? It fades. That new validation? It lands flat because deep down she knows she couldn't control your masculine energy, and control was her safety net. When it finally hits her that you didn't chase, didn't fold, didn't break formation, it triggers something sharp, regret. Suddenly she's replaying what you said, stalking your profile in the dark, trying to decode your silence, asking herself, did he really move on? Why didn't he come back? Did I lose a man who is actually different? And those questions don't whisper, they claw. That is why your silence is not weakness, it's strategy. You must stay calm, grounded, unshakable, because a woman who is only pretending will eventually crack when she sees your stillness wasn't an act. Your silence forces her to face the truth she tried to outrun. And if she returns, it won't be for games. It'll be because she finally recognized the weight of your presence, the steadiness of your masculine energy, the reality that a high-value man doesn't beg, he doesn't chase, he doesn't crumble. And if she doesn't come back, then she wasn't yours to lose. Don't chase what performs, protect what's real. Because a man who stays composed commands the room. A man who controls his emotions controls the outcome. And a man who embodies true masculine energy naturally learns how to attract women without lifting a finger. So stay centered, stay intentional, stay protective of your peace. Don't let anyone pull you off your path. Be the high-value man who stands so firmly in his truth that the world adjusts around him. Silence is power, use it. If this message hit deep, don't stop here. Remember, when someone wants you to make a move but won't say it, their signals can be subtle, especially with younger women. Trust what you see, not just what you hope. Pay attention to patterns, stay respectful, and move with confidence, not pressure. If this video helped you understand those hidden signals a little better, hit subscribe, like, and share this with someone who needs to hear it today. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Take care of your health.